So this is the myCredit system. This is included in your membership. Um, it's the new updated version of the myCredit system. They just updated this. I want to say it's probably been a month or two that they updated the myCredit system, and they have a lot of great. It covered almost everything in the system. Our marketing director June Collier did a better than amazing job at the new myCredit system because he covered everything from A to Z as far as answering a lot of questions. So what I like about it is that it has a accountability system. You'll see here that I'm at 11%, meaning that I have not even watched all of the videos in here. Even though I've been doing credit for over 20 plus years, I I still am forever a student. I never feel like I can't learn anything. I tell everyone I'm always a student of credit because things are always changing. Whether they change the point system or how they score or different things that's going on with the economy. A lot of things will change dealing with our credit. So I am forever a student. So I need to go through and watch all of the videos, but I love that it hold you accountable for your progress. And after you watch each course or you watch each video, it actually shows you the date that you completed it and the time. So when I hop on with someone who tells me, they don't understand it or whatever reason, I can hold them accountable, and it's not judging them, but it's good to have an accountability partner on this credit repair journey. Because sometimes I myself would get lazy, or just have other things going on in life. We was talking about that earlier during the training of why we're not building our business the way we do. And again, it's just letting life problems get ahead of your why. And when you reflect back to why you joined my econ and the purpose of you needing the credit repair, then you'll get back on board. So I love that it shows you the percentage of your training and what you're doing with it. So you want to start off with the welcome. And even throughout the welcome is a lot of great information in here, additional resources helping you understand the Fair Credit Reporting Act, the consumer, the CFPB, helping you understand that. And then I love that he implemented a lot of the what ifs or the questions that people ask. So you may have a question about while you're working on your credit and you can't reach your upline or you can't reach me or somebody in the company or you haven't been on the training, you can go in here, and it seems like June can put in every what if or every question that has been asked over the years in our trainings. How long will it take to complete the course? What if I feel overwhelmed or stuck? Like it's just I was looking at these questions that he that he put in here, and I was like, I've heard these questions being asked on our Super Saturday trainings. So this is good. So you want to click on anything that pertains to you, okay? After you do the welcome, the starting process, getting your credit reports. It's right here where we go out to get our credit reports and different things that you may have asked or questions you may have when it pertains to getting your credit report. Will this hurt my credit score? How often can I request my credit report? Should I pay for my credit report from another site? Absolutely not. So different things. I was looking at these questions and I was like, wow, June really took his time with this. I think he went back and looked at our training videos that from Super Saturday and just any question people had throughout our trainings over the years. It seemed like he covered it. How to read your credit report. If you don't understand how to read it, understanding your Experian report, your TransUnion report. For me, I was going to put this in my group, my team group. We have a chat, and I was going to put this in here. I recommend everybody going to each individual credit reporting agency, TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian, and setting up your account. They will allow you to set up a free account with each individual site, and you can get your credit score. So if you go to one main place to get all three of those at one time, all three of credit scores, they might charge you. But you can go and set up an Experian account. They're going to give you your credit score. You can set up an Equifax account. They're going to show you your Equifax score. And you can set up a TransUnion account, and they're going to show you your TransUnion score. So I encourage everyone to do that. Set those accounts up for free. Okay. What if you see something on your credit report that you don't recognize? Right here. What if I see duplicate accounts? It seems like he just answered. He had every question in here possible that a person might ask while working on their credit. Okay. What's considered outdated information on your credit report? So you want to click on these and get your answer. Okay. Checking for errors on your credit report. This is teaching you how to read your credit report so that you can understand. A lot of people don't understand what collections may mean, or public record errors, or when you see the bankruptcy up there. So that is good for you to go through this. Again, a lot of questions. What does unverifiable mean? So we often, when we're working on our credit, and we're looking at something and it says that it's unverifiable, it tells you exactly what that means. Okay. What if an account was paid off years ago, but it still shows a balance? That's a common reporting error. If you have proof of that payment, you can dispute that balance and request that account to be updated or corrected. So a lot of things in here. I love these questions. I think these questions will help eliminate, when people are working on their credit using the myCredit system, of them getting stuck. Okay. Step number 3, freezing the secondary bureaus. So the video shows you what it means to freeze your secondary bureaus. It tells you that, instead they often verify information using third-party data providers, known as the secondary reporting agencies. It shows you where you can go to freeze those secondary reporting agencies. We have LexisNexis, we have Innovis, and we have Teletrack Freeze. Okay. ARS is no longer providing or allowing consumers to do a security freeze anymore. So they have Teletrack in here. I'm sorry, Teletrack in here. Teletrack. It is other secondary reporting agencies that you can use, but we're going to stick with the ones that my econ recommend. Years ago, when I used to do deep, I've slowed up on taking clients. I tell you, everybody is not worth having as a credit repair client. So I've slowed up a lot on that, and I refer for them to use the myCredit system. But when I did have a lot of credit repair clients, it is other secondary reporting agencies that I have used in the past, but like a lot of them have closed down and they're not doing it, or either they've been bought out by a major company like LexisNexis bought out SageStream. That was one. So this is how to freeze your reports, everything that you should submit when you're doing it, the freeze. It takes it right there. It tells you how long it takes. It gives you additional information. You can choose to opt out of pre-screening. That means that if you get stuff in the mail saying that you've been pre-approved for something, you can opt out of getting those type of solicited mails, those type of that information in the mail saying that you've been pre-approved for a card. You can opt out of that kind of stuff. Okay. But here is different questions that people may ask when they're working on the freezes. Will freezing these agencies hurt my report? Do I need to unfreeze my reports before applying for credit? No, you don't, because you're not freezing the big 3. The big 3 is TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. If you put a freeze on those big 3, then yes, absolutely, you need to take the freeze off. But as far as freezing the secondary reporting agencies, you do not have to never remove that freeze. I've had my freeze in place for over 14 plus years and was approved for cars and everything. So you do not never need to remove the secondary freeze, okay? If you choose to, just know that you're going to need your verifiable, your identification pin that they give you when you put that freeze in place. But here's all the questions that people often ask when working on their secondary, freezing the secondary reporting agencies, okay? So if you take your time, like I say, the system is going to show you. I'm sorry, you guys, my mouse has been effing up. The system is going to show you the different questions that people often ask, and some of those questions might be a question that you have. So then you have the filing your disputes, and this is showing you what to do when you file your disputes. You're looking for anything that's inaccurate, outdated, or unverifiable. Okay. So you want to make sure that you understand that, because people often do not see the results that they're expecting, and they get this, they get discouraged, and they don't understand why something has not fell off or why it wasn't removed. Should you file a dispute when the account doesn't belong to you? All of this different things he has covered in this training. So I love that he did this. What if the account is mine, but the information is wrong? Can I dispute multiple accounts at once? So all of these questions, you just click on them and the answer is right there for you. Okay. So this is the filing part. Here's now you're ready for to do the actual dispute process. And here is everything. It gives you a example of the letters that's going to be sent to the credit reporting agencies. And here are all the letters. It's going to tell you that when you should use the letter, and the dates and the response that you should expect to hear from the credit reporting agencies. Okay. And I think that was great that he put this in here as well, because some people will say, well, I mailed my letter off and I haven't heard back from them. So he's showing you the number of days that they have legally from the time that they received your letter, or I say the date that you mailed it off, that they have to respond. So you want to write down the date that you actually mailed the letter off. Okay. But here's all the letters and how you should mail them off, and the process, the purpose, when to get it, and the response time. Okay. Again, he has questions in here, frequently asked questions. Can I send multiple letters at once? How do I know when which letter to send first? Start with the verification dispute letter. So all of these questions are in here. All right. So if you have any questions, it seems like he hasn't left anything unanswered for you. I did pull up tonight. I wanted to share with you, after you receive an answer from the credit reporting agencies, I wanted to show you how the letter looks. So this is a response, and hopefully you guys can see this. Let me know if you can see that letter. If anybody can unmute, let me know you can see the results.
I can see the screen that says the letters.
Okay, you don't see the results, the 10 accounts that I deleted off my credit report within 35 days. Let me see. Hold on, let me switch it. Okay, do you see it
I
now?
don't think I do. Oh, okay, yeah, I see it.
Okay, so this is a client that I was working on, and this is the results of us mailing off her verification dispute letter. I used the myCredit system. And in 10 days, in 35 days, we deleted 10 accounts. And this is the letter that you're going to get when you send off your verification dispute letter. This is how the letter will look. It'll come back like this. And what you want to look for is the word deleted. See right here under all of these accounts, everything says deleted. If you see anything that says verified or updated, then you're going to send off the second letter. But this is how the letter looks. This is the credit reporting agency's response to our verification letter that we sent in. Okay. So that's how that letter will look. And if you don't hear anything from them, it is a 30-day no response letter that you can send off to respond to them not responding to your dispute letter. Okay. Sending off your dispute letters. Here's a video in here showing you exactly what to do when you get to the post office. It's telling you to go to the post office and request the certified mail with the return receipt, which is the green card. You want to make sure that you have that return receipt because it shows proof that they received your letter. Okay. That gives you proof that it was mailed and delivered. And that's very important, just in case later on you need to take legal action against the credit reporting agencies for not following proper protocol. So you want to save your receipt and your tracking number, okay? So you're going to have a log journal or a folder while you're working on your credit. Here are all the proper and correct addresses that you should send your letters to. I often tell people never Google the addresses because sometimes Google will give you multiple addresses. And you want to make sure that your letter is going to the correct department. If your letter lands in the wrong department, it's just going to be sitting there and you're going to be wondering why you never heard from the credit reporting agencies. So everything you need is in the myCredit system. I tell anyone you don't have to YouTube anything and you don't have to Google anything when you have the myCredit system. This is by far the best do-it-yourself credit repair software. So we have everything we need right here, okay? You want to get your letters notarized. When you mail in a letter, so that you're not slowing up the process, please include your driver's license or your state ID, a copy of your social security card. I know sometimes people feel like I don't want to put all the information in the mail. Well, that is the only way that you will not slow up the process of hearing back from the credit reporting agencies, okay? If you send them just your ID, they're going to send you a letter saying they need more proof of to verify your identity because identity theft is very high. I heard a young lady talking about the people stealing people tax information. I do taxes as well, and she gave some great pointers. Well, we sell identity theft protection. That is that's one of the biggest things. I say second because I sell a lot of the cash flow manager during tax season. Everybody that sits in front of me, if you have a business and you're not using our cash flow manager, when you get up, you're going to have my link and you're going to be ordering that cash flow manager. But not only the cash flow manager, I also let them know that we sell identity theft protection. And that is a very one of the fastest growing crimes because everybody has access to technology. So I sell that identity theft protection as well. And if you don't send in your ID and your social security card, they're going to send you a letter or a postcard back asking for you to send in additional information proving your proof of identity. So to eliminate that, I tell people, take a picture of your ID, take a picture of your social security card, and you need to send in a piece of verifiable mail, meaning it could be your check stub. I like to use people car registrations. I know every state does not require for you to have your car registered, but I like to use a car registration because it lasts for a year. But you can use a utility bill. They just need some type of proof of information showing your address, and it cannot be marketing material mail like the mail that they send around for voting, and it shows your address and your name. You can't send that in as proof of address. Mm-hmm. They need solid information, a billing statement. It could be a bank statement. You want to make sure you black out your account number. If you send a check stub, they don't need to see all your personal information, but that address has to match what's on your ID. That's very important. I have clients who has used, they have PO boxes because they don't have an address. And they will accept a PO box, okay? You need to have something going to that PO box, some type of piece of mail as far as at least a W-2. When people use PO boxes, I often tell them I need their W-2 or their car registration or your car insurance, but it has to match to show proof of your address, okay? Those are the three things that you want to make sure you send in when you are doing your dispute letter. That's very important because it will slow the process up if you do not mail all of them in at one time, okay? You want to make sure that each letter is going to the correct credit reporting agency. So you're going to mail all three letters. Each letter should have everything that I just said in its own envelope. And you want to make sure that you send it off certified return receipt mail, okay? It does cost to send it off certified mail. That it does cost. But as a business owner, you can write this off on your taxes, okay? Anything that you're doing when you're working your business, you can write off on your taxes. So getting it notarized, that does cost, but you can go to the bank for free as well, okay? You can make a photocopy of everything that you're sending in. So you just want to keep track so that, because sometimes they'll try to say that they never received your information. Because I've had the credit reporting agencies tell me that they never received my information. And when I tell them that I send it certified mail, then they come back and say, oh, we did receive it. And they have whatever reason why they didn't, look at the process, the letter. But you make sure that you have your information and your tracking number just in case you need to file a complaint against them at the CFPB site, okay? Um, can I email my dispute letter instead? Absolutely not. And I done heard people say this, and I just look at them when they say somebody told them to email their dispute letter. I don't know who you emailed it to and who your information landed in the hands of, but you cannot email your dispute letter, okay? You want to make sure that you just click on these questions. And again, if you have any questions, you can always click on these frequently asked questions, okay? Let's see. I'm sorry about that. My mouse is getting stuck, you guys. I don't know what's going on. We changed the battery 3 times. Avoid filing online disputes. So this is a no-no. You never ever want to file do a dispute online. The only thing that I tell people that they can dispute online is their personal information. So the first thing that you should be working on when you're working on your credit repair is making sure that your personal information is up to date. That means your address, your name. You don't want to have multiple addresses up there. You don't want to have multiple names up there because it looks like you're applying for things and different names and it does not look good. So you want to make sure that you have one name, one address. You don't want to have a lot of different employees up there. So you just want a clean credit report. That part can absolutely be done online or by telephone. And you can do that part online or by telephone. I tell people I like to call them, but because they are getting a lot of calls because of the information that we're sharing, we're educating the masses. And a lot of people are getting educated on the credit and they're understanding a better way of getting better, greater results. Knowing that you can call, they have come up with more technical ways to make it harder to get an actual person on the telephone. So you just have to have patience if you do decide to call to dispute your personal information. You got to have some patience because they will send you to different departments or have you keep constantly holding on. But once you do talk to someone, you want to make sure that you're talking to someone in the correct department. You don't want them to get you on the phone and say, they'll say, I see that address was connected to a account at one time. They are trying to trick you into saying, oh, yeah, I used to live there. No, you just want to say, sir or ma'am, this is my current address, and this is all I want to see showing on my credit report. So you got to be careful and pay attention to the verbiage that you use, because saying that you did used to live at an address or anything, then that you have now verified that that address is correct, and they'll let it stay on your credit report. So you just got to be mindful of the verbiage that you use when you're on the phone with them. But other than that, this is why you should never dispute online, okay? You are not required to notify, they are not required to notify you of the results when you, in writing when you dispute online. They are not required to provide you the proof of verification. You lose control over the dispute narrative. There is no official data received or proof. And also when you dispute online, you're checking a box and you don't know what rights that you are waiving as a consumer away because you have agreed to something, because a lot of times they have the writing so small and tiny, you can't even read it. So never dispute none of your accounts online, okay? When you do the address part, make sure that address is not connected to an open account. Meaning, if you have let's say a Dillard's or a Macy's account, and you no longer live at the original address when you first applied for that account, and you forgot to call them and update their address, and now you're trying to dispute that address off your credit report. Well, a lot of creditors will close your account. American Express, Chase, like they will close your account if you dispute an address that is connected to that card. Because again, it'll give a red flag as if there is some fraud going on with that account. Okay. So you want to make sure that any open accounts or any open credit cards, you have updated your correct and current address with them and they have it on file. Okay. That's very important because you will get your card closed down. Is it filing online faster? It may feel faster, but the speed comes at a cost. So no, it's not. Can I dispute online and then follow up by mail? No, you shouldn't do that as well. Why do the credit bureaus encourage online disputing if it limits my rights? Because it's cheaper, faster, and it's cheaper and faster for them. They don't want to have to sit and go through all those letters that come through the system because those letters have to be fed through a system called eOscar. So when you send your letter in, if your letter is sent in the correct way, they're going to send it through a system called eOscar. eOscar will spit the letter out if they feel like it's a robotic letter. Okay, that's very important. So you got to make sure when you mail that letter in, you give it your wet signature, meaning you actually sign the letter with your wet pen. Because if you type your name in or do a e signature on it, eOscar is going to kick you out because they're going to think it's a robotic letter. Okay, so that is very important. When you send your letters into these reporting agencies, you want to make sure that your letter lands in the hands of a real, actual person. And they send it through the eOscar system if they feel like where any letter that comes to them, they're going to send it through the eOscar system, but the eOscar system will kick you out and spit your letter to the side if they think it's a robotic, repetitive letter. Okay, so that's very important that you want to make sure your letter lands in the hands of a real person. Okay, so that's the avoiding filing online disputes. Okay. So generating your dispute letters is next. I'm sorry, guys. Okay. This me and this mouse not being friends with me tonight. Understanding your dispute results. So this is generating your letters. Here's the system right here that's going to generate your letters for you. Okay. It's going to download your letters for you. And then understanding your dispute results. I just gave you an example of that. What you should look for when you mail in a letter and what's the results of understanding your results. We also have building your credit up, understanding credit utilization, boosting your credit boosting strategies, different things that you can do to boost your credit, becoming an authorized user on someone's account, rent reporting, debt consolidation. Now, with the debt consolidation, I often have people ask me, should they consolidate the debt? That is something that I don't recommend too often. Yes, you can use it. It's some great companies out here, but for myself, I've had clients who had horror stories with debt consolidation companies where they told them not to pay on a debt for 30 days while they did their negotiations just for that person to get a late payment on their account. And late payments can count 100% towards your credit score. So one late payment can make your score drop 100 points, 100 points. So I've had people use debt consolidations and companies, and it was just a horror story for them. So I tell people, do your research. If you do decide to do debt consolidation, understand the pros and the cons. And this is everything that June has listed in here. Is letting you know the positive and the negatives. It's letting you know, just get educated on the company before you decide. Do your research. I tell everybody, do your research. Google the company. Look at the Better Business Bureau points towards the company. You just want to make sure that you do your due diligence if you decide to do debt consolidation. Okay. I'm not 100% against it, But I just tell people, just make sure that that's something that works for you. It's not for everybody. And make sure that you're with a great company that'll do right by you. Because again, I've heard some horror stories with debt consolidation, but I'm not against it. Okay. Different things that you can do, transferring your card balance, credit boosting strategies. So it's a lot of great things in here that June has listed for us to look into when working on our credit. Okay. So the conclusion is, I'm sorry, you guys, this mouse it's giving me a hard time. Final thoughts, credit repair methods, disclaimers, different things, legal notices. That's you want to read up on this kind of stuff, okay? Is this course affiliated with the credit agencies or the government? No, it's not. So you want to read up on these things. And the last thing that I was happy to see that June put in here was credit repair income, meaning can you make money referring this product to other people? Absolutely. So we always have people that say they don't need everything that my econ offers, even though they really do need everything that my econ offers. Because I tell people, you don't have just a credit problem, you have a cash flow problem. After we go over everything and I give them their free credit consultation, it's not that you just decided one day you didn't want to pay your bills or you didn't want to pay on your credit card or you wanted to miss payments. Life happened and you have a cash flow problem. My econ is the cash flow company. We help people increase their cash flow. So even though people would tell me, Miss Riddick, I don't need everything, I just need the credit repair. Once we talk, I realized that they do need everything my econ offers. But if you have someone that's just stuck on just getting their credit done and that's it, that's fine. You can actually use this to make money just from referring people to the credit repair part. So you can actually earn income as a myEcon affiliate by doing direct referrals. Every time someone purchases the myCredit system through your link, you earn commission. Team building, that's us right now. We're on a call, and you can just let them know that what they get, everything that it entails of what they get. I like to tell people you're going to get me as your accountability partner, and you're going to get on a team training like this with multiple people that can give you some input. We have national trainings on our company calls on Super Saturdays. So you're not alone. You're doing it yourself, but you're not by yourself. And yes, you can earn money being a referral, just a referral, doing direct referrals. Okay. So if you don't feel like you want to build a team, but you know people who may need just the credit, then when you join myEcon, I tell everyone to go ahead and click yes. You want to be an affiliate. Because you want to not be able to, you don't want to eliminate yourself being able to make money. Because if you see great results or you learn something great on a call like this and you want to tell somebody about it, as an affiliate, you can earn money. But if you say no as an affiliate, all you can do is refer them to me and I'll get the money. So I believe in multiple streams of income. So don't eliminate yourself from getting the extra income. So yes, you can make money. And here's an example of how you can make money. If you do 5 referrals and they join at $40, that's $200 a month. Who couldn't use an extra $200? That extra $200 could go down paying off a credit card balance. Taylor just showed us the debt eliminator. So that could be putting your debt eliminator and pay off your car payment faster or anything, whatever goal you have. If you do 60 referrals a year, that's just telling 60 people about myEcon. That is an extra $2,400. I know could enjoy and use an extra $2,400. So why not tell other people about the great services that we offer? That extra $2,400 could be your investment. You can use that as invest it and build your own retirement fund. Because as business owners, we don't have a 401k. So we can build our own investment retirement fund using our referral bonus program. Okay. So yes, this is great ways for you to make additional income, sharing with people about the myCredit system. And that is everything about the myCredit system. That's the end of my training. I don't know if anyone has any questions.